Hello and welcome to Knee Pain Clinic's Golf Masterclass series. In this series, what we're going to talk about is the key exercises that I give my golfing clients and why each exercise is important, in particular for golf injury prevention, as well as being able to play through injury. And that's actually the key, because a lot of golfers, when they get a knee injury, they stop. And that's actually the worst thing you could do, both mentally and physically. So these exercises are all about, making sure you can play as comfortable as possible through the injury, and you will need some equipment for this. You can do it without equipment, but it's just a lot easier with equipment. It's just some basic exercise, resistance bands and maybe like a massage ball, but otherwise you can do these exercises very easily and they will help you play better through the injury and recover faster. So hope you enjoy, and let me know if you have any questions. In these exercises, we're going to be using a stretchy band. Now, this is a continuous loop. It doesn't have to be like that, but for this sort of thing, it's normally slightly easier. You can pick these up anywhere. We do sell them here at the clinic. Otherwise, you can get them from any kind of major chemist or sporting facility. So the first thing you can do is lift up the band so it's quite tight. And what you're doing is you're just pushing down and like stomping the ground. And then you slowly control it up and stomp down again. Now you notice from the side that I'm not pushing back. All I'm doing is lifting my leg up and slowly pushing down straight. The idea of this is you're using your glutes, hamstrings, and a little bit of your quads to control the movement. Once you can do 15 to 20 repetitions like that, like straight down, then you will go stepping back, okay? Now if you're a little bit uncomfortable standing on one leg, so let's say this is your injured leg, if you're uncomfortable standing on the left side, you just grab the wall or a pole or something that you can balance, because you don't want to be wobbling around, and you're just slowly going down like this. Now I suggest starting with quite a stretchy band and basically progress up to something quite thicker as you get more confident and more strength through the actual leg. Let's go on to the next exercise. So the next exercise is also standing. And I'm going to try and show you all these exercises that you can do at the club, because whilst you can do these at home, you also want to do them before you play a round of golf as well. So with this one, you essentially wrap it around the ankle a couple of times and you have it so that it's locked in nice and firmly, okay? And the idea here is that if you're trying to strengthen up your injured leg, which is the left side, you have the left leg facing the wall or the pole or whatever you're standing next to, and then you pass it underneath the opposite side, and all you're doing is very slowly pushing out, coming back, pushing forwards, keeping the leg straight, and then you push back and come back. So the key with this is speed, so you're not doing it fast, and you've just got to make sure that you're controlling it both directions. And when I say both directions, I mean slow going out and slow coming back in. So you don't go out slow and let it come back in fast, okay? You have to have the right speed and you have to have control. So I don't want your hips to move around, but I don't want you like rigid like a statue as well. Just be comfortable and relaxed, and you should feel like you're working the glutes, a little bit of the lower back, the core, and a bit through the quads. It shouldn't cause pain, and in fact, if any of these exercises cause pain, like more than 1 out of 10, you're doing too much. So with this one, you do 5 forwards, 5 to the side, 5 going back. You can do a circle like this, but that's more like a progression. So once the single direction gets too easy, and you also want to make sure you do it on the other side. So you have it so that you tie it onto your right leg, and then you go out like that. So that's a really good exercise to work on the glutes and the hips, because they're the muscles that could actually control a lot of the hip movement, and they help support the lower back as well as the knee. So that's a real critical one right there. The next exercise is probably the most underrated exercise when it comes to strengthening the knee, and that's to strengthen your calf muscle and your Achilles tendon, which is the tendon that attaches the calf muscle to the ankle, okay? Most people think, oh, what does the calf have to do with strengthening the knee? Well, because it attaches behind the knee and it kind of has a role similar to the hamstring at the knee, then you want to make sure it's doing its job as well and supporting the knee as you know, as well as the hamstring and the quads, but you certainly don't want to overlook it. So the way you do it, it's quite simple. You would either just go with some like a light, like this is 5 kilos, just a light weight, and you just stand up on your toes like this, then coming back down slowly, and then you go again, back slowly, and again it's speed, so you're not doing it fast, and not initially anyway, and you're looking to make sure you're controlling it on the way back down, and you're not making sure that when you're going up, your ankles don't roll out to the side. So you don't want to see that, okay? If you're doing that, you're probably going up too high, so make sure that you're just going with what you can handle. If that's too easy, so you want to get to about 15 with that, if you're getting to like 20 and you're not really feeling it in the legs, increase the weight or move to single leg. So single leg would look like this, working the right leg, the weight is on the right side, using your hand for support, and you're just slowly going up, and then slowly coming down, and slowly coming up, and then slowly coming down. When you do the single leg, you start at 5 and you gradually increase as you can handle it. If that gets too easy, you would do it on a step. So you have basically half your foot on the step and the heel hanging off the back, and then you just drop the heel down low and then you step up again. So that's really, really good for Achilles strength as well, but it's also going to work on the calf. And that is by far the easiest way to strengthen the calf, and it also is very effective. Now I know that I said you could do all these exercises at the golf club, so this will be in 2 parts. The first part would be the exercise that you would do at home. I mean, all the exercises I've shown you here you can do at home, but for this one in particular, you'd probably only really do it at home unless you carry the Swiss ball in your car or the golf club you go to has one. Essentially the reason why you do it is because we're going to be working on the quads here, and essentially it allows you to be more comfortable in your squat, because the squat is the easiest way to work the quads. So what you would do is you have it placed kind of in your kind of mid-back section, and then you basically take a few steps forward so that your feet are on a slight angle. Not crazy like that, but just enough so that you're not standing upright, okay? And the idea here is then that as you go to do the squat, so you're pushing your butt back in that direction. And what you'll notice is my back also pushes into the ball, and my knees don't go forward. In fact, my knees don't even get close. And I kind of push my butt back in that direction, and I go down as far as I can, feel comfortable. I'm pushing back into the ball as well, so my back's supported, and I come back up. And that takes all the pressure out of the kneecap, and it directly targets the quads. You will work a few of the other muscles as well, like your glutes and your hammies, but primarily the quads. And this is really, really, really good to train around knee pain, particularly because if you can take pressure away from the kneecap, the knee is very happy generally. So 10 to 15 for this one, gradually progress to 20. If you want to give yourself a challenge, I suggest doing a few pulses so you get to your bottom and you don't have to go all the way. Again, just go as far as you feel comfortable, and you're just getting to the bottom and little pulses like this up and down, okay? And when you do the pulses, you're just going to, when you feel like you're losing form or fatigue, then you have a break, okay? That is by far one of my favourite ways to teach people how to squat properly and to strengthen the quads while they have a knee injury. But just be mindful that if you do too much of that, you might be a bit sore afterwards, but it doesn't mean you've made it worse. It probably just means you did too many repetitions, okay? So at the golf club, by all means, if you can take the Swiss ball, then do it. Otherwise, the way you strengthen the quads is to do a lunge. Now, most people when they do a lunge, they think they have to go a crazy amount like that. It's not true. Even a small amount, and you're just doing simple ones like this. So what I'd suggest to do, let's say my right side is my side that is injured, so I'd have that going forwards, because you'll find that it's actually more work for the back knee. So you start with the right knee going forwards, and you're just slowly going down, so you're not having the knee go forwards like this. You're just looking to have it so that you're just putting some weight mostly on the back leg, and you're controlling it down nicely and coming back, okay? You can again do the pulses like this if you want to. You should feel it all through here and through this leg, and once you feel you can do that comfortably, you do start taking bigger steps, or you go out on a fan. So rather than going straight, you would go on an angle, you go on another angle, and you go on another angle. And you'll do that both sides as well as the right side. You do the left side, and that's just a great way to progress it and make sure that both sides of the body are even. And again, with all these exercises, it's generally about 10 to 15 repetitions is like the comfort zone. Get to 20, and then once you get to 20, you can start to progress it. So make it harder by adding weights or doing it for more resistance or doing a bigger movement. But just be mindful when you do increase it, you have to drop the repetitions. So you drop it back down to more like 5 or 6, and then gradually build up again. So that's like my key series for golf exercises. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll give you a bonus one. I'll show you that now. So for this one, this is just a traditional kind of stretchy band. So to tie this one onto the door, you just make a few knots, and that just prevents it from slipping. You can get like door straps and door holders, but I found this is just as good. So I'm wrapping it around the handle. There we go. So you can do this a couple of ways, but basically it's all about rotation and twisting both sides, okay? So start either split stance, and you're just using both hands to twist in all different directions. And the key here is to have variety, so you're not just going straight side to side, and you don't also want to have your feet always side by side. You want to have your right foot in front for a little bit of it, and you want to have your left foot in front for a little bit of it. Do be mindful though that you are putting a bit of a twist through the knee, so don't go too crazy, or if you have to, rotate the feet as well, like that. Yeah, you just want to do anything possible to avoid aggravating the knee. That is the key. You can always do exercises to help train the knee, but if they're causing pain, then they're wrong. But if they're causing pain, it's the wrong exercise for you. So with this one, what you would then do is you'd come around for the other way, and then you do the same thing again. And you can kind of have it so that you're either grabbing on like this, or you can even do it one-handed like this. And you want to make sure that the way back is slow. So you're not going out like that. That's more advanced. You really want to keep it quite basic, so you're controlling it on the way out and on the way in, okay? So there's really like no way you can do that the incorrect way. You've just got to have variety. Make sure you're doing it slow, don't hold your breath, and make sure you're not putting too much of a twist through your knees. So just be mindful that you are using your knees as well when you're doing the exercise, but that's a great way to strengthen the core, back, shoulders, as well as just get some more kind of twisty movements through the knee to start to train the body to be comfortable doing that twist, which will do when you're swinging through. I really hope you find this video helpful. I've collated all these exercises and instructions over my many years of working with golfing clients and sporting players, and obviously when I play golf myself, not that often, but I do occasionally play. And these are by far the best exercises that strengthen the leg, but also you don't need to have any fancy equipment or any kind of gym membership. You can do them at the club or at home. I suggest both, and they should be able to either A, help reduce the chance that you have an injury, and B, help you recover sooner and help you to play throughout your injury. So yeah, make sure you leave a comment below if you have any questions, but feel free to reach out to the clinic at info@kneepainclinic.com.au if you want to discuss your situation further. Happy to help there. Otherwise, stay tuned for more content because we're going to be pumping out heaps more this year and next year. So looking forward to seeing what we can put out next.